Now, I think for a lot of us, well, every one of us, change change is scary. Change is uncomfortable, and we've talked about a lot about discomfort, but everybody kind of wants to change.
Hmm.
Um, and they basically start cataloging what if you could change anything, what would you change about yourself, about your environment, about your job, about your relationships. I think every one of us will probably be able to list three or four things about just about every one of those. um,
Hmm.
but you asked the question, what do you most hope to change in your life? Can you talk about
Hmm.
the significance of that question?
Yeah. So I think to your point, there's tons of things that we would like to change. I want to change my wardrobe. I mean, there's a ton of things we can fill in the blank ad nauseum about the things that we want to change. But the work that I'm discussing in the book is saying, all right, so what is the most profound, biggest thing that I hope to change in my life? Because I think too often we get caught up in trying to address everything all in one moment. I just want to get everything better and this, but does it work? And then we get consumed with and overwhelmed with trying to do too much. So there's an African proverb that says, how do you eat an elephant? Well, the answer is one bite at a time. So this question of what do you hope to change most is taking the bite out of whatever that struggle that you're having, not trying to address every struggle and change every aspect of my life, but prioritizing what it is that I see as the struggle or the challenge that is most pressing for me. Then I get to go about taking a bite out of that and working to change that, as opposed to trying to be being overwhelmed with addressing all of these issues at once. And what we'll do when it feels like it's overwhelming, we end up doing nothing. Right? I coach football and I coach offensive line. And one of the things that I tell offensive linemen, you have two guys that are coming at you. What a guy will tend to do is try to block both of them. When you try to block them both, you end up blocking neither. So this is connected to change and what we're prioritizing. Pick one thing, stick with that, work through that process, and that becomes a win. When I can work through that process, all of a sudden I have one small win. And if I can have one small win, I now convince myself that I can have two wins. And those two wins can turn to four wins. So all of a sudden I get to change and build upon that one bite-sized approach to change. And I think that's really my work, is to help facilitate the change process. I'm not going to change your life, but I'll help you facilitate your own process.